And pleasant good afternoon to you, John Verlin, once again, On-Demand Advertising Solutions. Another digital marketing update, and I promised in our last one I was going to answer Tammy from Lenexa, her email about when will my ads start to work. This is like a small business owner's nightmare, right? We've all asked that. Well, today, Tammy, I'm going to talk to you about that. And I'm breaking this up into part 1 and part 2 because there's a lot of information to cover here. But I want to start out by saying that there's breaking news once again in today's paper. McDonald's is bringing back from 2 or 3 years ago their dollar menu. That is huge. Well, I'm being facetious, but that's PR is what that is. Now, in this article, it went into just things about, it's a fine double-edged sword for McDonald's because if they offer something a little more than $1, people will feel like they're getting ripped off and go to the competition. So, yeah, they got to be careful here. On the other hand, it talked about how President Trump will order a $22.89 meal. It's his go-to meal of 2 Big Macs, 2 Filet-O-Fish, and a chocolate shake, $2.99, depending on availability and price in the area. Also, that Warren Buffett has his, and this goes back to my last podcast of encouraging you to watch your costs. Warren Buffett tells his wife, okay, I'm going to McDonald's again this morning. I guess he goes every day, and I want to spend $1.79, $1.89, or $2.13, depending on if he's feeling prosperous. So his wife, based on what he feels, he'll say, okay, let's go with $1.89, put that in my cup in the car to track his expenses, to keep his costs in line with what he feels like. And he goes to McDonald's and he pays the $1.89 plus tax probably, and that's how he pre-plans his morning breakfast at McDonald's. This is just incidental stuff, but it's interesting, I think. So that's the breaking news. And that reason I bring that up is this shows us, Tammy, when will our ads start working? These are billion-dollar corporations spending money to make $1. And if they're not careful with their pricing, then they're going to get the customers mad and they'll go to the competition. On the other hand, the other side of that sword is if they're not careful, then the franchise owners are going to get mad because it busts into their profits. So it's a dilemma small business and huge corporations have, this whole thing of how to make ads work, profitable. There's so many moving parts in this, is why I wanted to break this up into a couple different programs here. But at any rate, okay, the second thing I wanted to bring up is this morning in bed, I woke up and I thought, what am I going to have to eat today? So I'm thinking lunchtime. So I get my large smartphone, 6-inch variety, and I look up, I actually asked Google, hey Google, I want Chinese carryout. Well, I actually knew the place of a place I wanted to go. Pulled it up, and they had an app. Oh, I didn't know they had an app. That's impressive. I didn't really care because I was already had gone on their menu. Went ahead and ordered. Picked the chicken and broccoli, or beef and broccoli, chicken and vegetables for a couple of meals. Typed in my name, phone number, and email address, boom, placed it. Got a receipt in the email. Okay, well, Tammy, I bring all this up to say this is how things have changed. This is our behaviors now. You're laying in bed. You may even be listening to me right now, laying in bed at 10 o'clock at night on your smartphone, listening to this podcast. That's how things have changed. How did it used to be? If I wanted Chinese, what did I used to do? Well, I'd get on the phone. I'd probably go to the Yellow Pages, or I might have been smart and had a menu hanging on my refrigerator last time I was there. But I'd probably go to the yellow pages, look up Chinese carry out or whatever, find their phone number, and I'd call them and say, I want to come over at 2 today to pick it up, and they take the order, and I'd go over there and pick it up, da-da-da. And that was 20 years ago, maybe. Think about how this has changed everything. And this is all about, when you ask about when are my ads going to work, think about the changes in consumer behavior that we've had over the last 5 years. Think about if you didn't have an internet, you wouldn't have a smartphone, right? You might have a flip phone. What happens how would this change your ads if you just had a flip phone? If everybody had a flip phone, no smartphone, possibly no internet, how would that change your ad structure to make it work? Okay, so these are all things I want you to think about, Tammy, as I answer this question. The other thing I want to mention, and this is, I don't know what kind of business you're in, but everything from services to physical products has changed with online. Okay, and the media itself has changed. Radio Intercom brought recently CBS Radio. They're consolidating to offer sports listening in markets where they have contracts with major NFL, I guess maybe NBA, but probably NFL teams to offer football and or baseball in those markets through an app. They still have the stations broadcasting those games. They've already got the relationship, but now you can do it through your app on your phone in those given markets and stream it. How has that changed radio? Just as of a week ago, okay? So all the media has changed. It used to be I'd go out to get the newspaper, have my coffee in the morning, and wintertime I'd be sliding down the driveway, freezing to death, and doggone it if the guy hadn't delivered the paper. It's 6 a.m. and there is no newspaper in my driveway. You realize how that throws off a person's day? I leave at 7. There's no paper by 6:30, and it's wintertime. I'll give them a break a little bit, but if it keeps happening, and that has happened, what happened to the carrier? Where'd he go? Well, now I just sit there and pull it up on my iPad, have coffee. I don't even have to get out of bed, really. Well, I do, but that's how everything's changed. And that plays into your ads and how you're going to place them and the response and that sort of thing. So, think about the platforms, how it's replaced. I talk about platforms online. You can now do your own taxes. You don't need an accountant unless you really want to have somebody review it, although H&R Block will do it with Watson the computer. You can, bookkeeping, you can do with QuickBooks for your business. It can link to certain checking accounts at banks. HR is available now. Everything that's freelance is available through online. Everything from marketing, graphic design, web design. Look at my website. All that is done on WordPress that I did. Now, they do have, and I sort of played with this, I didn't really take it, I took it seriously, but they have, some sites have artificial intelligence will design your site for you. Accounting, legal papers. You need a privacy policy, just Google it. It'll pop up. You just put your name in, your date, your whatever, and you've got a privacy policy document you can put on your website. That's services. All the services now that online has changed. Also, when it comes to pharmaceutical sales, CVS just bought Aetna Insurance to tide off or head off Amazon, possibly getting into pharmaceuticals online. And that's a $69 billion deal that CVS paid for Aetna to be able to head off Amazon from getting into selling pharmaceuticals, because they're going to have clinics, little clinics inside CVS pharmacies through Aetna Insurance will send their customers that, unless it's a major hospital event, you just go to the clinic, they pay for it, you get your pharmacy prescriptions there. It's all about consolidation and how online's changed everything. And that's true with your business. Okay, so let's get into, I put a platform diagram up on this blog post. I want to go walk you through real quick here. Dynamics of the small business marketing platform. Well, we know that from statistics, 50% or more of small businesses don't have websites. Tammy, do you have a website? Okay, I want you to check these things off. If you do have a website, you're way ahead of the game. Okay, if you look at this diagram, this infographic, these are critical elements that are the basic support for all marketing in this new world of ordering Chinese food on your smartphone from bed. Your small business website. The Chinese restaurant had to have a website. Okay, the next step is a blog. Now, why do you need a blog? Well, you need to feature, in this case, I'm doing podcasts, video podcasts with a transcription, which is actually built into the video through YouTube. Animated videos, I can promote that content, the image of it, and the fact that when you post blog information, it helps you with search engine optimization because it's fresh content. This is why you want a blog as part of a website, because the search engines will see this and rank you better when people search out your business. But if you follow that down to the next yellow infographic, blog posts are promoted regularly to your Twitter and Facebook followers, which drives traffic back to your blog and website. So the blog serves, as I call it, nuclear fuel for growth of traffic on your website. If you cut off a blog or don't have a blog, you're missing out on educating your prospects about your service or your product. In a nutshell, this gives you something that we never had, because I didn't get educated on that Chinese cuisine until I actually went in there. But if they had a Twitter, and by the way, if there were a Chinese restaurant, which there are, near me, that I would have seen something on Twitter, an offer, or maybe my Facebook business page, or my Facebook news feed, 50% off today only. Guess what? Oh, I wouldn't be going to where I'm going 10 miles away. I'd be going 3 miles away to that Chinese because they're a couple dollars more. That's the difference. I'm wasting gas, but if I had an offer from them on my social media that I do check every now and then, guess where I'd be going? That's how things have changed. And that's why the website and the blog allows you to drive information and education about who you are and your products and services. And those are promoted. This is why social media is so important. They allow you to promote that information, that content, whether it's a video, animated video, video podcast, or written. Doesn't matter. You can now promote that on your social media posts, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. And that will then, as they click on that link to learn about, in this case, when your ads will start working, they click it on from a Twitter or Facebook post I made. They come back to this blog site, and now they're listening to this, Tammy. They will learn about your business. You've invited people now to come in with a reason. It's not just about, oh, check out my boring website. It's fresh and active because they see blog posts you've done a day ago, a week ago, a month ago. They can go through your entire blog and find pieces of information they're interested in. And now what's happening? They're spending time that you've invited them to through posting on social media. Okay, this is just you doing this or you hiring somebody to do this on a regular basis. They're now learning about you, feeling good about you, seeing if you even know what the heck you're talking about, looking at maybe some offers you have, whatever that is. They're getting engaged with you through your content on your blog. Now, separate from this, if you look in the center, it says Google search engine constantly seeking relevant content for ranking. And they're putting more emphasis, and it's why we do rich video content, for example, rich content. They're putting more emphasis and favorable ratings on videos And the animated videos, any video or picture related is considered better in response to questions being asked. They want to be able to show a video or show something of rich content to their customer, Google does. And so they're going to rank that better if you have that in your blog. So it's searching your website, your blog, and your social media for any relevant content, okay, which is going to help you in the back end on your ranking. I'm getting long here. I'm going to have to wind this down. And then the last part of this, customer surveys, newsletters, and email marketing provide valuable customer data, promotion, and offer customer touch points, leading back to your website. So this is how this dynamics of the small business marketing platform work, why we build this for our clients, because most of them don't have these elements in place or they're partial. And it provides innovative content and touch points that are the engine of propulsion, reaching out to your prospects and customers and driving traffic to your website. That is what you need in place to get ads to work. We will talk about this in the next one, about actually buying ads through TV, radio, print, direct mail, Facebook advertising, Twitter, LinkedIn, search engine AdWords. All that's in the next podcast. John Verlin 12 at AT&T.net, on-demand advertising solutions.com's website, and we'll talk to you next time.